sun hits the sky.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode 2 of Before and After So Now What? My name is Alex. I go by That Man, and I have my fellow co-hosts, my hosts with me here, and my fellow coaches as well. And we're going to have a great show today. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Jen? How you doing, Jen?
I'm doing great. I just got back from the hair salon, so I took a little bit of my hair off, but I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm
How are you
doing good.
guys? Sarah, pass it down to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just woke up feeling great.
Looking great too.
Thank you. How are
I
you
love
doing,
your
Nate?
background. It's like all bright and pink and colorful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love how you just woke up and you look like that. And I've been up for 6 hours and I look like that. I just, but hey, I'm a Pilates teacher. I've already been to the gym. I worked out and I just taught 3 hours of Pilates. And now I'm home doing our live. So yeah, sorry about my appearance, but that's the life of an active person. Sometimes.
No, hey, you look great though. Like you look alive,
I am.
So,
I feel great. Definitely.
I'm very blessed.
Alive.
Very blessed to be a part of all this with you guys. So, yeah, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we have some good topics to talk about today. And that kind of brings up like what we were just talking about. Like I, get up in the morning and I go to work, and like a lot of us do, most of us do. I mean, I guess since COVID, a lot of us have been working from home, right? But what do you do all day? Who are you? What are the roles you play in life? So our first question is, what are the roles you play in life? What are the different hats you wear? So for me, I'm a mom. I'm a dance mom. I'm a baseball mom. I'm a basketball mom. And I'm a lacrosse mom. And that's just my mom roles. Okay. I'm also a Pilates instructor. Okay. And I'm a health coach. And I'd like to think that I'm a good friend to people, and I want to be available in the community for volunteering. So I'm a volunteerer. I'm always volunteering for things at the school district, on the district level, and in the classroom. I'm always helping out my neighbors, and I feel like I'm a good neighbor. And so, these are like my roles in life, right? I mean, so everybody else, I guess, like talk about the roles that you play in life, because I'm probably forgetting some that I didn't write them down. I should have written them down because I feel like I have so many roles, I can't remember them all.
Well, before we do that, I forgot to mention to everybody, we'll be doing this every Friday, right? We're going to do every Friday. We're going to try to stick to 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we have all the social media links for all of us, for Jen, for Sarah, for Adrienne, and for myself in the description on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're not following us over on Facebook, on Instagram as well, or on YouTube or whatever, go over there and show us a little bit of support, and tell your friends and family about what we're doing, because this could probably help them, give them some good information, and as well some good entertainment, because we get deep, but we also have fun. We keep it light. So who wants to answer the question next?
I'll answer it.
Okay, Jen.
Okay. I'm very similar to you. I'm a mom. I'm a dance mom. I'm a baseball mom. I'm a realtor. I'm a health coach. I'm a maid. No, I'm kidding. I'm not really. Well, I mean, I clean my house like a lunatic, but you would never know because my house is always messy. I'm a cook. I like literally, you name it. I'm mom. Like the saying, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm mom of all trades, master of none.
So Sarah, you next.
I like doing this. Oh wait, that way.
I did it right the first time because our fingers are switched. Everything's mirrored. Okay, so I'm pointing in the right direction now. Sarah, you go.
Sarah, you're on mute.
Well, yes, children were screaming, so I'm also a mom. That feels like all I do anymore is just be a mom. a lot of people know that my son's got a tumor, so we go to the children's hospital a lot. So I really just feel like that's my only role right now, is just being a mom. I do have, my health coaching that I'm really passionate about. I'm new to that. And then I also have a vintage reselling business of sorts that I do on Instagram, but that's really it. If you compare me to Adrienne, it looks like I don't do much at all, but I keep myself pretty busy.
Well, you have a lot of kids.
Yeah, well, I have 3.
Yeah. So that's a full-time job.
Yeah. Well,
that's like 3 full-time jobs in one.
Momming is so hard. So hard.
Yeah, I don't know why I signed up for that.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
You're
like.
so
But
cute. Okay, Alex, what are your roles?
I think with what Sarah was saying, in the comparison of like Adrienne, you have a ton of things that you said, and then, the truth is, I think there's more than what we can think of, right? Like if we were to really, I think the importance of this question is to ask yourself, what are the roles that you play in your life, so that you can really put into perspective all the things that you are, right? Not who you are, but what you are and how you are and all these things. So with me, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a cousin, I could go all that way. I'm an entrepreneur. I have currently 3 businesses. I'm also now a health coach, and I'm a friend. I'm a lover. No, I'm a lot of things as well. I'm a lot of things too. So, I think it's a really good question, because I know if I sat down and took a paper and a pen and wrote down and took time to really think about it, I can come up with a really huge list of all the things that I do, and that I am,
So that's what you're touching on this. Hi, Jennifer. You're touching on that important point of like, what are we putting our energy into every day? And is it something that you find fulfilling, or is it something that you feel like you're forced into, that you have to do out of habit? Right. So this is a lot of times what we don't really think about. Like when you're saying like the things that you're doing all day long that you would describe yourself as, right? And what kind of effort are you putting into it? Is it fulfilling? And so that the follow-up question to that is, all these hats that you wear in your life, do they bring you fulfillment? And it's okay that some do and some don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, before we actually lead off to that question, I'd like to ask the viewers, what roles do you all play in life? So if you guys could comment it, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and comment it and let us know what are your, more than anything, what are your main roles in life, and then I'm gonna put up the question right here. The next question is, do the roles you play in life bring you fulfillment? So take it away.
Right. So for instance, for me, I do gain fulfillment from being a mom, right? Like I really enjoy being a mom and helping in my children's development to become good people, good citizens, kind people that are productive, they can contribute to society in some way. I love that role, and I love helping kids and teenagers and young adults figure out what they want to be in life and do in life and be inspired by something. And it's really their calling, not mine, right? But I love helping awaken people to their role in life. And that being a health coach has fit right in with my natural. I used to work for EF High School Exchange Year, and I was an international exchange coordinator. And I worked with exchange students coming over to the US. And I had a 150-mile radius. And so I had so many students and families that I worked with. And so after COVID, I took a step back from that, because obviously we weren't having students coming over anymore. And I realized that it was a lot of stress for me sometimes to deal with the families and different drama or whatever that kids would be going through. But health coaching falls in line with that. What did I like about being an exchange coordinator and health coaching? Helping to awaken people to their full potential, right? And that's why I thought this question was going to be so important, because what are we putting our energy into every day? Like, My kids, if they weren't loving, if my daughter wasn't loving dance or loving lacrosse, and I was fighting her to do it, that's just torturous for me. It's torturous for her. So I've made a conscious effort since doing this program, starting the program that we're all here talking about 2.5 years ago. When I started shifting the focus and helping my kids really figure out what they wanted to do. And I'm happy to take that role on as lacrosse mom. I literally have lacrosse mom cup with me because that's one of my roles, right? And I don't even have my name on it. It's my daughter's name. I'm Lake's mom, right? So that's the funny thing, right? Where I'm happy to do that. And it's fun for me because they're enjoying it and they're having fun. And I'll put my energy into that. And same with health coaching. Someone wants to turn their life around and I can help them get there. That is so fulfilling. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. And Pilates, same thing. I used to do all these other jobs. I was a makeup artist. I was an international exchange coordinator. But helping people gain health and strength and stability in their core, and they're not in back pain anymore. They're not having shoulder pain anymore. Their hips are more stable. Sciatica pain goes away because their hips are more stabilized. Like all of those things, I love helping people get there. And so, yes, it brings me so much fulfillment to do what I do. And now I get up in the morning at 5 a.m. and I'm happy to get up and start my day because I know my day is going to be filled with things that bring me joy and bring other people joy and health.
Yeah, and if I can follow up on that one, because I'll tell you what, I was very blessed last year when I made the decision to move to Tennessee and like take a step backwards, right? And contrary to what everybody was telling me to do and stuff, I just took that risk. I did what I call jump in the pool. And I was very blessed and fortunate with business, and my business bloomed, and I worked really hard on it. But I wasn't concentrating on what was most important. I wasn't concentrating on my health. I wasn't concentrating on my relationships with people. A lot of things started, getting kind of messed up. So 2021, I made the decision to focus and invest in my health and in my education and coaching. I have literally sacrificed my decently successful businesses. Like I don't focus on them. I work on them maybe 20-30 minutes a day now. Once in a while, a little bit longer. But I also set it up in a way where I don't have to focus on it. But I'm definitely sacrificing that because I wake up in the morning looking forward to helping my clients to hearing their struggles as much as their successes, and again, to me, I know what it's like because I've experienced those things, and that fulfilling, it's not about me anymore, because in the beginning it was about me. It was about, I need to get healthy, I need to get myself together. But now it's just that sense of like, it's not about me. I was telling another fellow health coach this morning that messaged me, once we shift the focus on how can this serve me to how can I serve you, everything changes, like, everything. So that, to me, health coaching is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done as well. And I love it, and I look forward to helping more people. And it's a drive. I love it. I love it so much. And I wouldn't want to do anything. If I could do this for free, if I did it for free, I would do it. Either way, I would still do it, right? But it is what it is. It's at the end of the day, it's a business too, But I don't focus on that part. I focus on the people, and I feel that when you do that, everything grows, everything comes to you, everything works out a lot better. Like, can I share this sound right here? Look, if y'all go to my stories, okay, just go to my stories on Facebook or Instagram, and I shared this, and a client, Tiffany, was on, and look.
Hey bro, just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that I really appreciate you. I feel like crying right now. I'm so happy today, and my relationship with my husband has gotten better already because my confidence and my morale and my mood is better. I lost half a pound from yesterday. I'm doing packages and I'm here listening to Alexa radio. I'm dancing. I haven't done this in so long. Just thank you. Thank you. I wasn't planning on crying, but then I started talking and the tears started falling, and this is supposed to be like a really happy message to you, and that was a total fail, but I guess my emotions came out.
That's fulfilling.
Tiffany's
You
so
know what
amazing. I'm so proud of her.
I'm all teary-eyed right now.
I'm trying not
That's
to cry either.
amazing. No, that's incredible. I'm so proud of her. What an amazing person. And that's the thing. Like, so Alex, when you're, so this is an interesting thing. So like for me, I was at a point where I was volunteering a ton, right? And the roles I was playing was like running committees, volunteering a lot, working for EF High School Exchange Year with these exchange students. And while it did bring me some fulfillment, it also brought me a lot of stress, right? So making this shift towards something that brought me fulfillment and I enjoyed doing every day, but it changed kind of my stress level. I found that it's helped me in my health. So did you make a shift when you started health coaching? Was there a shift that you made? Did you make any evaluations about some of these roles you were playing in life and like asking yourself, is this really truly fulfilling? I'm going to shift, or you're doing all of them still? Like, because I know I shifted some things and there's some things that stayed the same.
Yeah, I definitely shifted. Like I definitely shifted. At least the amount of time and effort I put into other things isn't as much, right? So I put more time and effort into this, and all of it causes stress, all of it, right? Because it's life, and you're doing things, and you want things done, and things don't work out. You make plans, it doesn't work out, but you keep going because that fulfillment, it just pushes you. So, but I think it is important to, even with the stresses, especially with our program, how we go into the life book, and the life book helps you. This is how you handle these things, and these are things that action steps that you can take, and practices that you can do, and it's awesome to know those things, and then to be able to share it with your clients and things like that, because it doesn't matter if you only got 1 role or 10 roles, you're gonna get stressed. You're human, so why not have those practices? But yeah, I've definitely shifted. The majority of my focus is in what I'm fulfilled by, because at the end of the day, if I were to go tomorrow, I want to know that I feel like I'll be more at peace knowing that I did something that fulfilled me and that served others, and things like that, than how much money I make, or how big my house is, or how many friends I have on Facebook. You get what I'm saying? Like, none of those things are meaningless when it's the end. So it's all about that journey, and sharing experiences with others, and being a part of other people's lives, and things like that. So that's what I strive for on a daily basis.
Well, I mean, I always say, like, with Jen Lantz is the perfect example of, she was my client, she was my friend, and then became my client. And now she's a health coach on our team. And I always say, like, gosh, knowing that I've helped her completely change her life, I would die a happy woman. Just her, just her. I'm pointing in the wrong direction. Jen, so what about you? What about the roles you're playing in life, and what's bringing you fulfillment?
It's funny because
like you could like scratch off the list and say, maybe I don't need to be doing that.
We've talked about this so much, like me and you. I am, and I said it before, I'm the housekeeper and cleaner in my house. That is such a what's the word? I'm drawing a blank. What's the word? What am I trying to say?
Unfulfilling?
Unfulfilling. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. That's a very unfulfilling role. And you know what? If dishes are in the sink and they need to be cleaned, they're going to get cleaned at some point. That's my attitude. Like, I will clean them. But right now, if my clients need me, my clients come before doing the dishes or making the bed. I never used to make the bed. And guess what? Now I make it more times than I don't make it. So that's a huge win. But I've never had an actual passion about something before the way that I do with health coaching. I never got up and I was like, what's today going to bring me? And now I'm like, who am I going to talk to? Who's going to send me a non-scale victory text? This morning, I got a non-scale victory text from somebody. It's her birthday today. Her goal was to reach 50 pounds by her birthday. And she woke up yesterday. She texted me. She had 1 pound to go. She woke up this morning all excited. And you know who this is. It's her birthday. She hit the 50 pounds on her birthday. I mean, how awesome of a birthday present is that? You know, I'm so proud of her. She is just, oh, she's doing so well. But getting that, like, I love hearing what people can physically do, like being able to just cross your legs. You don't realize how hard that is when you're plus size or overweight. Being able to sit on the floor and crisscross your legs and not be uncomfortable. It's just the love that I have of helping people get to their goals and reach little non-scale victories for me is better than any. I mean, I love being a mom. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore it. But this gives me a purpose. Yes, I have a purpose as a mom, but touching other people's lives and watching their lives change and their families change because I changed my life and discovered this amazing program. It's literally priceless.
Yeah, I want to add to that too, because you just mentioned the word purpose, right? And there is a difference between, in my opinion, there's a difference between purpose and fulfillment. But when you're doing something that gives you purpose, right, and it's fulfilling, you know, it's almost as though you discovered your purpose.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's funny because I cringe because, you know, I mean, in theory, this is a job for us. But to me, I know to you guys too, it's not a job. I literally cringe when I say the word job, because how can helping someone change their life, get healthy, all the things, how can you call that a job? You know, I actually, as I type it to people and stuff, I'm like, oh, the word job makes me just, oh, my skin crawl. Hi, Cheryl.
Well, that's the thing too. If it's something that you love doing, right? Like for me, teaching Pilates or something, right? Like if I was working in an office at some job that I didn't really care about, and I'm just doing it for the benefits or something, you know, and I showed up to work and I'm like, ugh, I'm like dragging out of bed in the morning and going there and sitting at the desk and hating my job and hating my coworkers and fighting with everybody all the time. You know, like, I mean, no, you know, but like finding something, and finally in my mid 40s, changing my career and changing everything in my life and going for something that like, I couldn't afford to do Pilates training. It's tens of thousands of dollars. I couldn't afford to make all these changes. Like I was a mom, I had kids, I had responsibilities. My life is done. Like it's set. That's how I thought before. And I did this program and then I realized, well, I accomplished these little weight goals and ended up being 75-pound weight loss, which was a massive weight loss goal. But then it was like, wait a minute, if I can do that, I can do anything. Why am I wasting my time with something that doesn't bring me fulfillment? And it's stressing me out on top of that. And it's not giving me purpose, you know? And so that's when I started making shifts in my career. So Sarah, I mean, you have young kids, right? And you have a sick kid. So what about your fulfillment? I mean, what are you doing for fulfillment? Because obviously chemo treatments aren't fulfilling. Yeah. But you know, aside from that, I mean, what are you doing in your life now to fill your cup?
I've really just started to take care of myself. That's something that I hadn't ever done. I've always put everybody else first, no matter who it was. You know, even my exes, you know, my daughter's father, I'd always put what he wanted first, even though he never thought twice to do that for me. You know, it's just, that's part of my personality. And so like when it would come to dinner time, you know, everybody wanted to eat the McDonald's or the pizza or whatever. And it was just easier for me to say, okay, we'll have that, instead of saying what I wanted to eat or take care of myself by eating something healthy. And so joining this program for me was a huge step, because I just didn't know how to put myself first. And so now that I've put myself first for months now, it actually feels awkwardly good. And I'll tell them, I'm making this fish and vegetables. If you don't want to eat it, there's the pantry. Like, and I make them go get it. I don't care if you're 8 and 12, go find your dinner, because it's like, I've taken care of you guys since you were born and just, groveled over everything you needed. Now it's my turn, So it's really kind of felt like I'm being a bad mom, and sometimes because I'm just like, go deal with your stuff, go take care of yourself. But that's because there's nobody taking care of me. I have to take care of me.
Well, it's that whole analogy of you're in an airplane, you put, if there's a loss of oxygen, you put your own oxygen mask on first before you put it on someone else, right? Because if you're passed out, then you can't help anybody. So the saying is, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're empty and you have nothing left to give, you're actually, by giving to yourself, you are able to give more, right? By taking care of yourself first, you're able to show up as a better mom. And you're making healthy dinners for your kids. They want McDonald's, you got to figure it out, because I'm making fish and vegetables tonight. You know what I mean? And that might feel awkward right now, but in the long run, your kids are going to look back when they're in their 20s and 30s, and they're going to be healthy. They're not going to have type 2 diabetes and all of these kind of things. And they're going to say, gosh, I'm so grateful that my mom got healthy and she taught me how to eat healthy. They're going to be grateful to you for that. They will. And they may not see it now, because if you give an 8-year-old the choice, they'll have cake for breakfast, donut for lunch, and ice cream for dinner. I mean, let's be honest. And maybe McDonald's is a snack in between, right? But like, as a parent, okay, that's not healthy, right? So we're going to show them the right way and emulate that behavior, right? We're going to model that behavior. They emulate us. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So we show up as people that we know to give to ourselves. So our daughters aren't going to go into relationships in the future and say, well, I have to be this subservient wife and clean and cook for everybody, and it's not about me, it's all about them, and then lose yourself. Because we don't want our daughters to go out into the world and be those kind of people. We want our daughters to have a strong relationship where they're an equal partner in the relationship, right? And that they can stand on their own 2 feet if the man runs off or whatever, right? That they can have a career, that they can, if they want that, but that they have opportunity, right? And by setting a good example for them as us as women, or as fathers, right? That, that we can be fulfilled in our life and still be a good parent, because both, it's not one or the other, right? You can be a good parent and be fulfilled. You can make healthy meals and be a good parent,
Aside from the guilt of sometimes thinking, oh, I'm putting myself before them, I actually feel like I'm a better parent now than I was, 3 months ago, because I was so tired and I felt sick and I just wanted to sleep, and I was angry and miserable and always screaming and yelling, and it wasn't a happy home. And now, they say happy wife, happy life. I guess it's true. I'm happy now. And so the household has so much less tension, and the kids are happier, even with all the stress going on, because I'm changing to a better person. And it really does affect everybody.
Yeah. So that, to change, and we always go back to change begins with the man in the mirror, right? So the change has to start here within us. And then in turn, it starts changing the relationships around us, right? And thus our surroundings. So you can ask yourself, what would you need to change currently in your surroundings, right? That, how important is that right now to change, make it a change in your surroundings? So for instance, having negative relationships at your job, the classic, my manager's such a douchebag, or, my boss is an asshole, or, my coworker, she's always stabbing me in the back and trying to steal my clients, or, you always hear about these kind of roles that people have in their jobs, right? And so imagine the stress level that you have from dealing with that, because you're at your job most of the day. You're working, that's who you are kind of, right? So now you're stressed out. What are you going to do after work? You're going to go get margaritas. You're going to come home and drink 2 bottles of wine. You're going to eat a pint of ice cream or more, a gallon of ice cream, like some of us did. And, you know, like, I don't just, you know, hypothetical here. But, you know, so like those kind of things, right? So like this surroundings. So, Alex, what are some things that you've done since starting this program that you've kind of tried to change or identified things in your surroundings that needed to change?
So one of them, I always ran my business from the house. And so I have like two parts of my bedroom, and one part used to be where I kept all my inventory, and like it was just a workstation, and it was just work. And my bed was here, like where I'm at right now, and I have my TV here, and I have like my computer. It's all like screens and entertainment and things like that. And I also learned it in the life book. But you know, I just said, okay, I need to get rid of that, move that out of here, right? And move my bed over there so it's away from everything that's going to keep me up at night, you know, in an unhealthy way, right? So I did that. And that was one of the things in my surroundings that has benefited me, because now when I go to my bed, literally there's nothing, you know, I have no choice but to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because that's an element of health, is healthy sleep, right? And that's an element of health. And you learned through this program and the elements of health that healthy sleep is important to weight management, right? Mm-hmm. And emotional management and mental.
I want to bounce off of that. I'm stuck right now, and I'm going to be very vulnerable, and this is very embarrassing, but you know what? It's my reality. My bedroom is a disaster, because I always, since health coaching, because I don't know who knows, I'm never done thrifting. I'm always commenting when Alex is live. I resell stuff on the platforms. I was trying to make it a little full-time business, but I don't have the time to devote to it. So it's really my little side hustle. So currently my bedroom is a disaster because I have all the clothes and all my inventory that I haven't listed yet lying everywhere, and it's causing tension with me and my husband because he's sick of looking at it. He has every right to complain about it and be over it. I get it. I'm working on it. But it's not serving me. And I know that I'm holding on to the old me. And that's why I can't let some of these things go. And just the other day I went into my closet and I'm like, I have these old jeans, size 18 short, from Old Navy. I'm never going to wear them again. Why do I still have them in my closet? I'm holding on to them for something. I can't tell you what that thing is right now, but I put them on. I put my bathing suit on and I put them on over my bathing suit just to like do a video and show the world, like, you know, how I've slimmed down. And now I'm ready to let them go. So I don't know yet if I'm selling them or if I'm just going to like donate them, but they're going. So yeah, toss them, right? That's where I'm at right now. I need to declutter my house because I'm very cluttered. And I also collect Raydon, and I have a lot of Raydon that I need to let go of. Sarah. Sarah gets me. That's how me and Sarah actually met, was over our love of Raydon. So that's not serving me right now, all the stuff that I have in my house. And I'm holding on to it because I'm holding on to the old me, and it's just got to go. I got to just let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Like the movie Frozen. Alex is like, what?
No, I was about to start singing with you, but then I realized I didn't know the rest of the words.
I don't know the rest of the words either.
I know the words, but you don't want to hear me sing.
No, we don't need that song stuck in our heads. We're heading in a good direction.
Interesting though, like how a lot of us have clutter in our lives, and it's kind of attached to the same space of the weight gain, right? That we have every pound. And you guys have all heard my theory about how every single pound on your body has an emotion in it, good or bad. It could be your son's bar mitzvah. It could be your kid's graduation. It could be your grandfather's funeral. It could be a bad day at work. It could be a fight with your husband or your honeymoon. I mean, whatever it is, there's an emotion attached to that. And then a lot of times we attach emotions to objects, right? And so it's the same thing. And we get this emotional attachment. And so letting all the weight go, it's like, wow, I'm this new person. Who am I? And now all of my things around me, I still need all my things because I'm Jen. Who's Jen without all my things, right? All my weight is gone. And now you're vulnerable. You're this vulnerable, skinny person, and you don't have 100 pounds between you and everybody else protecting you and patting you. But now you still have all this stuff protecting you. And that's like your cocoon. And you need to shed that cocoon and come out like your butterfly. You know what I mean? And come out of that cocoon. And that's a very hard, I had to do it. And remember, I told you I was having like an out of body experience for a full year. It took me a full year at this current weight to come to terms with the fact that I am who I am now. It was a full year.
Yeah. And it really is like, it's decluttering your mind as well, you know, because you have things. I remember watching a show and it was like a minimalist show or something like that. And they were telling people about, hey, Ella. And they were telling Ella, go to bed. Oh, no, wait, it's early. So they were they were telling people that like, you know, spend like a week, and then whatever you use throughout that week, put it in a corner of your room or something, right? And then at the end of the week, those are the things that you need because you use them on a daily basis. Everything else you don't need, right? Or it was like a month or something. Do it for a month, and then everything else you don't need. So I know a guy. Well, I don't know him. I wish I knew him because that'd be cool. But his keeping clothes that no longer fit gives you permission to gain the weight back, says Denise. Very true.
Denise, so true. And
So true.
Jen over here doesn't want to let go of old Jen.
I need an intervention.
I keep telling
really
her
do.
She doesn't want to let go of old Jen. She doesn't want to let go of old Jen. She misses old Jen. She misses the binge eating. She misses the clothes. She misses the lack of control and lack of boundaries.
And you know what? My whole life up till doing this was out of control. When I worked retail, before I became a realtor, I was working retail. With retail, you don't have a set schedule. You don't have really structure. I mean, some people do, don't get me wrong. I was never one with structure. So I would wake up, just go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. It was not like, you know, I didn't have all the structure basically that I needed in my life. Then I became a realtor after leaving retail. And again, I literally just go and run with my clients when they need me. It's not like I had an actual structured business. But with health coaching, I now, with all the things that we do in the morning, I have an actual little routine, and I still have more to implement. I need to get there. But this clutter is just adding extra stress and things to my life that just, it's got to go. Has to go. I just need to repeat myself over and over again, telling myself it's got to go. It's okay. Because if it's not there, there's no stress and no like fuzz. It's kind of like fuzz, you know, like it's just, it's
White
surrounding
noise.
me. Yeah.
If you're like me, like I can't relax. I don't know if it's just my personality. I can't relax or do anything enjoyable if there's clutter or a mess around me, because even if I'm sitting there trying to read a book, I'm thinking there's a pile of stuff over there. There's a pile of stuff over there. And then I'm like, I can't even read this book because I need to go do this. And so it's very hectic, even though none of these objects are moving. There's all this hectic stuff around me. And so my closet, I just cleaned out my closet. I think I shared that with you, Jen, how it was like literally a disaster because I had stuff for my reselling and like kids stuff and clothes and stuff just all shoved in there. And it's a walk-in closet. I couldn't even get in the door. So I took it all out and I just threw it in the garage. Now my garage is a mess, but you know what? It's in the garage and I don't have to see it right now. And that can be tackled another day. But I think just to like get everything out into a pile and be like, okay, this is the mess, and not have the mess everywhere, that's going to help you free up your mind at least a little bit.
And I have a tip for some people because I've done it myself. You want to let go of this stuff? Have a garage sale real quick. Do it real well. Holler at me if you're going to do it. I'll give you great advice on how to actually properly set up and get ready to have a ton of people out at your garage sale, and you'll sell all your stuff for $1. Sell it all for $1.
Yep.
Get it gone. You take that money and you, I don't know, do something good with it, healthy. No, don't buy yourself more stuff. All right.
It's so funny you say that though, because I was literally about to ask, because this is a lot of resellers that are watching right now. Like, what do you do when you want to get rid of your stuff, but you can't actually let it go? I know you guys understand me, because when you buy, especially when you're you're sourcing and you have inventory and you have things you're like, oh, this is going to sell. I'm just going to hold on to it until it sells, but it's not selling. Like, I need to realize certain shirts that I bought that are in my bins behind me, they're not going anywhere. But you know what's something that's really cool? 2 years ago, I thrifted this one top. I loved it. Nobody's bought it. It's still sitting. I just pulled it out and I tried it on the other day and it fits and I'm keeping it. So there's certain good things that came out of holding on to certain tops, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? With every little piece that goes away, you get rid of it for $1, $2, whatever. Some reasonable, right? You're giving somebody something that they're going to use, and it's going to be something beneficial for them. And just letting that go. Every time you do that, just give me $1 for that, give me $2 for that. Then every time one little thing goes, it's like that little, 1 pound of weight comes off of you, no pun intended.
It's the mental weight. It's that, do you remember En Vogue? You guys are all too young. I'm aging myself.
I know En Vogue.
But there's that song, Feel Mine, and the rest will follow.
I was listening to En Vogue like 2 days ago.
Yeah, but really, but it is freeing your mind and everything else. Like, people want to separate this from this. Okay. Like, I'm just going to take a magic pill. I'm going to get weight loss surgery. I'm going to go get shots and I'm going to lose the weight and I don't have to do anything up here. Right. Because this is separated from all of this. This has nothing to do with this. Wrong. How do you say it, Alex? Wrong. Okay. So the thing is wrong. Okay. So, so the thing is, this is controlling all of this, right? This up here, we have to lose the mental weight to lose the physical weight. Hey, Charlie. I've known Charlie like, gosh, way too long. Yeah. Charlie, you remember En Vogue. But, so it's like that, losing that mental weight, the physical weight can follow. It was interesting for me doing this program, how I didn't realize how much mental weight I was losing along with the physical weight. And one kind of started following the other and it kind of started snowballing and it turned into this whole thing. And I just kind of went with it. I as Alex said, just jumped in the pool. I closed my eyes, I pitched my nose and I just jumped in and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going to go. And I came up and I'm like, okay, I'm 75 pounds down. My whole life seems different now. Where am I? Who am I? And it was very weird to go through that. And then the next year was nothing but mental work for me, shedding the mental weight, because I knew if I didn't, I wasn't going to keep the weight off. And even when we talk about surroundings, surroundings aren't just your bedroom and the TV in the bedroom or, the tchotchkes. It's people. Yep. It's your job. It's the people you work with every day. It's your friend groups. Surroundings can either enhance your weight loss and your health, or they can diminish it. Okay. So your surroundings, meaning people, places, and things, right?
Yep, 100%.
Right? Can either enhance it or diminish it. And so what we're trying to do with our program is create a healthy bubble around us, right? For lifelong health. So what is that healthy bubble, right? So this is where you're going to evaluate your surroundings. It's your bedroom, where you're sleeping, setting up a good sleeping environment. It's who are you socializing with? Like on the weekends, are they eating and drinking all the things? And, you want to kind of, do that again? Is it pulling you back in that unhealthy direction? Are they curious about what you're doing? Do they want to kind of jump on board with you and say hey, I'm going to try not drinking at the party tonight or something like that? all of these things, right? The stress at your job, right? If you start working on yourself, those relationships will start to shift, even if it's all the other person's fault. I have no problems. I'm perfect. And it's all their fault. Even changing yourself, right? Working on yourself, that relationship will change with that person. It will. And that's very hard to admit for some people. Like,
yeah, I think that's the biggest one to work on. That's the one, and when it comes to people and places and things like that, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard, and it's not to say that you can never socialize with certain people again or go to certain places ever again. But it's best that you can work on you to build that mental strength and that consciousness and all these things, so that when you do socialize with them, even though it may be limited, you still know where you are, and you still know what you're trying to accomplish, and it doesn't affect you emotionally, it doesn't affect you physically and any of those things.
Virginia, sorry to interrupt you, Alex. So Virginia's bringing up a good point. My only friends are online. So Virginia, if you're saying that, during COVID, I feel like we all only had online friends. I've actually never met Sarah and Alex in person, and I feel like they're some of my best friends. I really do. I literally love these two people so much. Jen and I see each other in person all the time, and we hug and kiss, and we're besties. But these two, okay, my fingers are switched. I can't do this.
You just love doing that. That's what you do.
I know. I can't. It's like my brain doesn't work like this. I'm like, but like, it's amazing how working here, and then creating a healthy community around us, like this community that we have with this program. I'm developing stronger relationships, deeper relationships with people than I think I've ever had in my whole life. And because now I'm more open and curious, because I'm living in a growth mindset now instead of a closed mindset, I'm able to have deeper connections with new people that I meet. Right. And so creating that healthy community around you, even if it is online, totally possible to do it with an online community. Absolutely. 100%. That's what we do. We meet online all the time.
And think of how much is online anyways. Like people meet their soulmates and their spouses online. Mm-hmm. So I have a very strong online friendship versus real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and again, it's also important to realize those things, right? So because you can go into an online community and you feel that sense of companionship with people, but maybe those people themselves are also something that you need to adjust, and how frequent you spend time with them, right? Because it could be overwhelming knowing that, I don't have any real, like, I don't know anybody, but I'm meeting these people online and this is great. And just you have to really recognize, is it good to continue having these relationships with these people, or to how often should I go say hi to them and stuff like that? Because a lot of times, people are in their own negative bubble, and online is so, this, what do you call it? This whole way of us communicating online is far beyond what I think we were naturally intended to relate with people. So it could be overwhelming, and you can go from having no friends at all to all of a sudden having 100 people that know your name and you know them and this and that. Now all of a sudden there's 100 people. Well, how many of those people are actually healthy for you?
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. You're totally right. Like everything that we feed our bodies needs to be evaluated if we're going to be healthy, right? Like what we're putting in our mouth, what we're putting in our mind, what we're feeding our soul. Like, are you getting fulfilled from something? Are you watching a bunch of negative things on TV, violent, negative things all the time? That's all food for your brain, right? And your body releases chemicals every time you're stressed out. And so if you're watching TV or news or whatever that's super stressful for you, that is releasing adrenaline and cortisol and everything in your body that will affect your health. It will affect your health. It will make you gain weight. It can cause all kinds of diseases. It's science, you know, and same with relationships, right? So when I was getting healthy, I had to evaluate my relationships, both in person and online. It didn't matter. And then say, okay, maybe I need to take a step back from this person for the moment, like Alex was saying, until I feel much stronger in like where I currently am. And I knew I was very susceptible to kind of falling off the wagon, so to speak, knowing I would be around certain environments, right? With food or maybe gossiping, negative talk about other people. And so I had to back off of those relationships until I changed my habits and rewired my brain. So now I can be around those people now and I don't fall into that pattern. They want to start gossiping. They want to start eating or drinking. And I just shift because my brain just doesn't even go there anymore. It's amazing how I'm like, next. I just pivot.
Yep. Yeah. And you know, I call it, I say that we have a garden, right? Because all this stuff, right? What you bring in, how you feed your mind, how you feed your body, and all that stuff is how it's gonna come out. Yeah, that sounds good. You know what I mean? It's what you're gonna put out, right? It's what you're gonna put out.
We reap what we sow.
We reap what we sow. So I like to look at it as a garden. You have a garden, and there's flowers and there's weeds. Are you going to spend time watering your flowers, or are you going to spend time watering your weeds, right? So at the end of the day, those relationships that you have with people, if you have to cut some off because you feel that they're weeds, right? Look at it like this. If they're getting angry at you or something like that, they're gossiping about you now because you're not around as much or something like that, well, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, you're watering your flowers and you're going to be able to give flowers to others, right? So would you rather give weeds to people in the future, or would you rather give flowers? And would people rather receive weeds from you or receive flowers? And relationships are huge, real huge. They're very important. Huge. They're very important. You know, to overall health. To overall health is the relationships you have with people. So water your flowers. Don't water your weeds.
For everything, right? So like get back to our first questions, these roles that we play in our life, right? Are some of those roles that you're playing a weed? Is it one of Alex's? I love this analogy because I always use plant analogies. So that fit right in with how my brain works.
I literally feel like I'm listening to you two as one person.
I know. I'm always using plants. I'm like, you got to water your plant.
Yeah.
And each person in your life is a plant. You got to water each person.
And you both have the best analogies. So I'm like, I get it from both ends.
I love that. I love that you're using the plant analogy. That really speaks to me, Alex. But it's true though. So everything in your life, right, is, I call them, you know, plants and pots. You're in a garden. It's the same thing, right? Like, where are you putting your energy? Are you putting your energy into things that bring you health, that bring you fulfillment, that bring you joy? Or are you putting your effort into things that are like dragging you down and making you feel weighted down emotionally and physically? And then, identify with stopping the negative TV shows occasionally. Yeah. So Charlie, you're right. Like so I don't know if you guys know who Deepak Chopra is. But I read one of his books. Look him up if you want. And he's a really interesting man. And I read one of his books when I was pregnant with my first child. And in it, he talked about how when you're watching a violent horror film, right, that's scary, your body doesn't know the difference between what you're watching on TV and reality. Yeah. Okay, so your mind consciously, you know, okay, I'm watching some horror film. But when you're like, your body is legit going through the same chemical reaction that it would if that guy was actually chasing you with the knife. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So what happens is when your body goes into fight or flight mode, a lot of things happen. Okay. Our vision actually narrows and we don't have the peripheral vision that we usually have, right? Your vision actually narrows. Why? Because you need to be able to run from that saber-toothed tiger. You need to be able to run from that bear, right? Or the Freddy Krueger, whatever. And your digestion stops. You stop digesting food. Your body stops digesting its food. Isn't that crazy? It shuts down all non-essential functions in your life, in your body, and pumps adrenaline into your heart and your major muscle groups. Why? So you can fight, literally fight the bad guy or fight the saber-toothed tiger or run like the Dickens to get away. So that's fight or flight. So your body actually goes through these chemical reactions while watching negative things on TV or films. So what happens is when your body's constantly living in that state, the chemical reactions affect your physical health because other things that need to be functioning properly are no longer functioning properly. And imagine if you're pregnant, the baby is getting those chemicals that your body is releasing. Your baby is stressed out and it doesn't even know why. It's in your stomach and it's getting fed all this adrenaline. And dude, we got to run. It's scary out there, and this baby, this poor little baby is in there. So it's a really interesting phenomenon, what happens. And so he was saying, like, when you're pregnant, like, go look at flowers in Alex's garden and walk barefoot in the grass, connect with the earth, all of these kind of things, and fill your mind, like look at things that are pleasant, fill your mind and your body with pleasantries, right? And that your body is then releasing happy hormones and your baby will be calmer and less stressed out as a newborn and as a baby. And so anyway, I just thought that was a really interesting, I've kind of used that analogy though, like throughout my life, like after I had the kids and I was no longer concerned about what was going on, like with the baby in my stomach, but like the effect that those negative things in our life have on our health, it's a very real thing. And so what does that mean? I gained weight. Why? Well, because I was surrounding myself with negativity all the time.
Yep. And you know what? I don't like what you just said because I myself love a good scary movie. I actually want to go travel the country and visit all the haunted places like they used to show on the Travel Network or show. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that. It's weird. I like it, but now I know this and now I'll be more conscious about it. So, I'm going to ask myself, is my health worth seeing some guy chase another person with a knife?
But look, it's like, but also these are habits, right? We become addicted to being in fight or flight. We've wired our brain and our whole mechanisms to like that. Mm-hmm. People that are in abusive relationships aren't happy that they're being abused, but they somehow keep seeking it out because that's all you know, right? So even if it's something that isn't good for you, but if that's all you do, that's part of rewiring your brain. Of course, people like to eat McDonald's. People want to have 3 bottles of wine. I like my wine. I like my horror movies. I like all of these things. Or it doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy for you.
Yeah, or like the relationships with the negative people and stuff like that. You start falling into the same gossip and then you enjoy talking about other people, but then you get mad when you find out that they were talking about you. The same people you were talking with are now talking about you, and then it's this huge toxic, and your life is a mess. You're miserable. You're always angry. I could tell you this. I personally have started separating myself. That's one of the things I've done. I've separated myself from certain people. I still love them and I still show them love because I have the empathy and the understanding that, they're just human and this and that. And, that's them, right? But I still love them as people. I just don't spend as much time with a lot of people I used to because of that. Because I know, I gotta go get my fueling, It's right there.
I want to that I get to eat a cookie dough bar right now, people.
I got my s'mores bar. I want another one. Those things are so good.
I love these cookie dough bars.
Something I learned
I got
years
the-
ago
Go ahead.
when it comes to drama and gossiping, if you stop the noise, meaning you stop listening and you stop being an ear to it, you're not going to hear it and you're not going to repeat it. That's what I do. I don't like hearing drama. I don't talk about people. I don't like hearing. If people want to talk about me, so be it. But you know what? I'm not going to be the voice. I'm not going to carry it on. And it's like the telephone game. Gossip always gets twisted and it turns into more than what it truly is. So if you stop the noise, there's nothing to repeat.
Right. It's pulling yourself by you changing your role in it. It changes the relationship. Then people know, oh, I want to complain about so-and-so and bitch about so-and-so. I'm not going to go to Jen because she doesn't want to hear it. I mean, Jen, see, I'm reversed. Jen, right? So that's the thing. It does change the relationship. So it doesn't necessarily mean if it's a gossipy person, you have to eliminate them completely. You just stop being an ear to that part of it. And then, hey, maybe they're like, you know what? It changes the dynamic of your relationship with them. And maybe you actually have deeper connections with them now because you're like, let's go on a walk. And you're talking about flowers and all kinds of stuff. And you're not talking about other people and being negative anymore, you know, and you might actually find that you like that person even more, or that you find out something about them that you never knew because you're not talking about all these other people.
Yeah, and that's why I always emphasize on, you know, if you're going to talk about anything, talk about yourself, because that's where you're going to discover who you are, and that's how you're going to learn about yourself and learn about the things that, you know, the good things about you, the bad things about you, and you can work on things and improve on things. We're at an hour, so I was thinking, you know, just to summarize this whole show, you know, I'm going to bring these things up again, you know, when you guys have time, you know, really think about, you know, what are the roles that you play in your life? All right. Do the roles that you play in your life bring you fulfillment? And how important it is to make a change in your surroundings currently. Because at the end of the day, it's about health. Yes, this is before and after. So now what? So yes, all four of us are still on this adventure, right? Some of us already got to a healthy goal weight and are maintaining it by living, you know, a life of health, overall health. So at the end of the day, this is about overall health. The number on the scale is just a way for us to measure our progress. Okay, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the number on the scale and everything to do with how you feel, how you think, and how you act. And I could tell you, yesterday was my grandma's birthday. Actually, it was the day before, but we celebrated yesterday. And while we're waiting at the restaurant, which, by the way, you can eat out too, just so you know, and still be healthy. I had shrimp fajitas, but without the fajita, and then anyway. So I was standing outside, and there's this big ride, and it's like this swing. It's like a zip line thing that just goes over the street, and like it's awesome. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I want to do that. So I went inside to ask, because I can't wait for the day I don't have to ask what's the weight limit on this thing, you know, like, but I went in there because I knew there was no way it's 350, right? So I go in there and I'm like, hey, what's the weight limit on this? They're like, well, the smallest is 50 pounds and the most is 250. I'm like, got it. That's my goal. I'll be back. So like instead of setting goal weights, setting exciting goals that you can look forward to doing. And Jen was somebody who inspired me with that because I saw her do the rock climbing thing, you know, and Kevin and Tara Baird, they invited me to go on a roller coaster, and I want to experience that again, you know. And
I want to talk about this subject. It was actually what I want to talk about next week, was all of these kind of, you know, non-scale victories and this exact topic.
Let's do it next week.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about next week. What's possible on the other side.
Awesome. And that's what we're doing then. So next week we'll be talking about that.
Guys,
Yay.
thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. I'm so grateful to have you guys in my life.
You're awesome.
And I think we should close with Tina Turner theme song. I don't need another hero.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, you're simply the best.
You're simply the best. No, you know what? That's been my theme song.
Rolling on the river.
That's
So
good.
this was fun. I'm gonna close this out with our little intro / outro. I'll probably make an outro for next time. But
Outro.
we're out of here. Don't forget, everybody. Just work on you. This is what it's about. Work on you. Make your life better. Because by making your life better, by changing your surroundings, you will change your surroundings. Okay. By making your life better and focusing on you, everything around you will change. All
Yep.
of it. Okay. So
Yep.
love everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Love you. Mwah.
If you haven't followed any of us yet, the links are in the description on YouTube, on Facebook, on all our Facebook pages. We're all going live on the same time on all our Facebook pages. Go subscribe and follow and do all that good stuff. And we will see you next week.
Yay.
See y'all.